what is the concept of giving and taking love? Giving love means loving everybody and bringing ourselves to a state where we can have a feeling of affection, a feeling of identification with others. Now, many people think that that's a very difficult thing to do, to be able to just love everybody and to feel the same affection for everybody. It's a very difficult thing to do. What they don't realize, and what is actually quite crucial in our spiritual journey, is to understand this concept about giving and taking love too. Because if learning to love others is difficult, then way more difficult is learning how to take affection. So if you're on the spiritual path, then step number one is just learning to love people. Now, when you start learning to love people, when your heart expands and includes so many people, you simply cannot afford to go demonstrate that love indiscriminately. You feel very affectionate, so you go and show your affections and you be very affectionate. You can't afford to do that indiscriminately. It's not that you shouldn't, but you can't do it indiscriminately. You can't just do something because you feel like it. Why is that? Because if it was difficult for us to learn how to love, it is way more difficult to learn how to take love. So if we go and manifest our emotion of love to others indiscriminately, sometimes people are not able to take this. Take a simple example. So you tell your staff that I'm so grateful to you that you have done this job so well, and they'll immediately say, so when's my next raise? It is difficult for people to take love and not encash it. The moment you give love, there's a tendency amongst all of us to try and encash that love. Wherever we know there's an opening, we will go in and grab because of that selfish instinct within us. Wherever you see that it is possible for us to get something, we will immediately go and grab it. So it's actually a spiritual quality to be able to simply take love, absorb it, that's it. You don't encash it for anything, you don't encash it for anything material, you don't encash it for anything at all. You make no demands just because you know that your demands are going to be fulfilled. When you see affection, a lot of problems come in relationships out of this also. Parents indiscriminately shower their children with affection, and then they have spoiled children. Spouses do that to each other. And then there's a lot of taking for granted. There is a lot of bitterness that comes out of this whole thing. And you might find in your life that those that you have done maximum for are actually quite bitter towards you, because you've not taken care of this thing, that you cannot go and show your love indiscriminately, because not everybody can take it. We don't know whether we can take it. That capacity in a human being to simply absorb love, to not try to get something for that love, to be able to take another individual's love for you and never make it a transactable commodity. This is a great spiritual quality that we have to learn ourselves, definitely. And we have to be extremely careful not to demonstrate our affections very indiscriminately and force the other person into a position where they collapse because they don't know how to treat this extraordinary love that you're showering on them. And then it becomes your responsibility. If you think you are the more developed person or the more mature person, it is your responsibility to manifest the love in a way that you're actually benefiting the other person and not causing his or her downfall. So our maturity is known by how much we can love others and how sensibly we can demonstrate that, so that both you and the other person are benefited and the relationship can grow further. Else, and indiscriminate affection displayed will create bitterness and anger in the other person, and eventually bitterness and anger in our own selves, and the relationship will actually not prosper. So important for us to understand this concept about giving and taking love, feeling love and then showing it indiscriminately so that the other person is actually damaged by this behavior that we have. We must demonstrate only as much as we know as will be beneficial to the person that we are demonstrating this behavior to.